Gonna bring you a second game on Memorial Day since I have the time. Uh, so Terra Mystica again, and let's hopefully the game will load soon. This is taking a disconcertingly long time. I've been sitting in the queue for quite a while at this point, so there's reasonable odds that a lot of queue broadening has happened here. Like the ELO range that Board Game Arena would attempt to search as matchmaking partners for me should widen. So odds are reasonably good that one or two of these players are either quite strong or really terrible, and I guess we're about to find out. Just as soon as we can get this fellow to click the button. Uh-oh. Okay, looks like we lost it. Hopefully we can queue in with the same pool of people. Minus the one who didn't click the button. And yeah, it looks like it. We matched up with 3 almost immediately. So it should be a relatively short queue time this time around. It's a little lame starting this not being able to see the list of scoring objectives while I think about it. I really wish I had a little bit more time at the game start for racial selection. That always goes by very quickly. Let's see, is this... Here we go. We've got a match now. Alright, let's take a look at the bonus cards we have available. So notably here, we do not have access to the 6 money card. So this game is... we are also missing the 2 money and dwelling scoring bonus tile. So this is going to wind up being a relatively low money game. I think in light of that, I'm going to go ahead and toss in the Alchemists. I think they're the faction that I play the best relative to the scores other people tend to obtain with them. And certainly they succeed in environments where other people have less access to money. So I'd be very, very happy to play them here. Perhaps other people will outcompete me in the bidding for them, but that's life. If we do start out with them, we can also take a very early Stronghold build and do that round 1 while it scores points, and then round 4 Spade scoring will be really strong if we set up to combo for that. So all in all, I really like the look of Alchemists here. Presumably the Haflings will get bid down in point value somewhat. We expect this anytime there's round 4 Spade use scoring, just because that's sort of the entire point of the race. They really don't have anything they can do other than play towards that one big Spade combo and score a lot at once. We might think twice about Alchemists, potentially, if the Mermaids come in here. Just because that would... Not only would that make 2 color neighbors for us, which is very undesirable, it would also create a lot more competition for this shipping scoring bonus card, and we're going to want to be leveraging that a lot. We're less eager to be passing on trading posts, because with Alchemists we don't need money so much as we need workers. So really our best option for bonus tile scoring by far is going to be this one outlet. and the mermaids would certainly compete aggressively on that front. Fourth guy's taken his time figuring out who he wants to play, or at least who he wants to have available as a bidding option. Can't say I blame him. I usually take a very long time. So how does everyone else fare? The witches are pretty happy to make a stronghold opening on turn 1. That just lets them use their free dwelling power that much faster. Swarmlings. Okay, so Swarmlings still creates 2 color neighbors for us. The awkwardness is a lot less than with mermaids, though. They won't be jumping around the map in the same aggressive fashion. So they probably wouldn't compete with us that much for spaces anyway. So the Swarmlings don't... I suppose they could compete in this central region, but mostly they're going to want to be competing there and in the west. So how do we want to bid here? I definitely don't think we want it to upbid witches in that spot. It's notable the Swarmlings also have 2 color neighbors. They'll be fighting much harder with witches. Do we have we do have access to the priest bonus tile, so that allows us to do a fast shipping upgrade start in conjunction with our stronghold and build many dwellings, hopefully. So really I think the alchemists and the halflings are the 2 strongest races in this pool. And I know the halflings only have 1 color neighbor, but I really love my alchemists. Okay, this is looking a little silly. Are all these races going to go for 30? That would be somewhat ridiculous. I'd be happy about it, but I feel like other players should be competing on halflings a little bit more in this situation. If other people want to compete down on price for swarmlings, though, I certainly can't complain. I see we have an MTG player over here. This fellow that's very keen on bidding for the swarmlings. I can tell from the avatar and the username both. It's a famous Magic the Gathering character. Oh my, they're really going to town for the swarmlings. That's quite happy. We definitely have a lot of factions here that can play the stronghold opening for 5 points. The halflings notably cannot. That's just not in the cards for them ever, really. So I would imagine that we could grab a very late Earth 1 favor tile on round 2. Seems like it'll probably be open because I imagine the 3 of us that can make stronghold openings, in light of being paid 5 points for it, will be happy to do so. So that means that I would expect halflings and swarmlings to have first pass at Earth 1 if they wanted it. Because swarmlings can very easily acquire both a stronghold and a temple on turn 1 if they want, by use of the stronghold power. This is really something, that we all went at 30 except for the swarmlings starting at an 11-point deficit. That just seems beyond crazy. Okay, so we have witches here. We want to start somewhere where we can be neighbors with people in order to leech up some power. So I think My inclination is to take a spot over here. The witches are likely reasonably happy to begin here with us. And then we can also take a spot here adjacent to Haflings. Oh, this may be problematic if the Haflings decide to cut us off here. I'd like to have more than this triad available for forming a town in the longer run. It seems very obvious that if we move here first, the Haflings will choose to start there, and we would be very fine with that, I think. But keep in mind that we're going to have to... One of these starting dwellings is going to have to turn into that stronghold, because we're going to need all the power first to combo off the rest of the turn. So if we have a neighbor here, we can definitely put the stronghold there quite happily. Let's see. I think it's a reasonable bet to choose... No, I want to retain the mix-up here between starting next to Swarmlings or Haflings based on where they go. So I'll just put one here for now, and we can wait and see. Looks like I may have found another player who's familiar with me. It's a little surprising. Alright, so it looks like we are going to get our choice, having a neighbor in either of these spots, which is pretty wonderful. I'm really hoping the witches will deign to put their final starting placement here, but they may not. It's very normal for witches to start in this placement. Either way, if that's how the chips fall, I think I'll be okay with having an isolated dwelling over on this continent anyway, because black is infamous for having a million things it can terraform in a single move over there. So I'll just have to try and leech as much power as I can with the other placement. So while we're chatting about COVID-19, since this kindly gentleman is doing that with me, I would... I guess I can actually throw in there. I did manage to contract it and survive, but that's not super surprising given my age. Alright, so now the Witch's player is almost certain to go in here since he can jam in the triangle and absorb tons and tons of power. So we're happy about that. Starting either of these places is dangerous, just because it would be very easy for Swarmlings to rapidly deny me this one, or Haflings to rapidly deny this. I think I'm more worried about that happening from Haflings, because they're in better position to get this spade bonus card if they want it, and also they're likely to go temple and then dig as many times as they can for dwellings. Whereas the Swarmlings sequence is going to take a long time upgrading things before it ever tries to dig an adjacent tile. There's also, if we start here, we can get cut off from this space. And that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. If we start here and get cut there, it would be much more annoying in trying to chain back and link these together. Also, if Swarmlings have literally 0 neighbors, they'll be kind of screwed from the outset with how much they'll have to pay for their first trading post. It may actually block this stronghold opening. So I will take this place and be happy about it. Bleh, no neighbor here. I think it works out okay, though. Certainly the person who got the worst of this opening set was the Swarmlings player. And you know what? No one has more than 1 neighbor in this junction. The Haflings have 2, but they, yeah, I suppose it worked out reasonably for them. Okay, so Spade is denied. They'll probably steal this away from me, but that's fine. As mentioned, I'll just head off in this direction instead. So where do I want to open? The Priest is taken away. That kind of sucks. So one line is, I don't really want to have to generate 2 priests from power to make a shipping opening and build dwellings down this coast. So I think I'd actually like to take 3 power and then up my shipping so that I can spin up a single priest with this power action later in the turn. That's definitely the route I would like to take on this. It's also good to deny this bonus card from the Witches. That's traditionally their strongest starting one. So we'll be very happy about that. Alright, we definitely know the Haflings player is choosing to upgrade this next, so we would like to leech additional power from it. And that means we should start off right here with this. There we go. Take the power income. See how the Swarmlings start. They're really going to be in a rough spot. They did get a nice bonus card to help them. But they could still be in quite a rough spot with no neighbors at all. And they're not getting any neighbors soon either. And in fact, since they dug this way instead of cutting that swamp first, which was a big mistake on their part, we're going to be able to jump in here. And then, I mean, that will leech us some power later. I suppose it might not be a big mistake, actually. You may intentionally be leaving it in hopes of having a neighbor. Which, like, I'm happy playing a cooperate setup on this with him. Alright, these are disappearing fast. That seems fine. Really, the things that we're interested in doing here, we're going to want to take these 2 actions so that I can get my stronghold and build as many dwellings as possible. Now, I could just build the stronghold right now. But the issue with doing that is that I'm going to become power capped after and not be able to accept any more from the Haflings' next move. Whatever that is. I suppose they're going to play right after me and probably upgrade here. If I'm worried that I can't get both of these actions, then there's some amount of sanity in just taking the bad conversion rate for a priest at 5. But I really don't think I want to be doing that if possible. So maybe it makes sense to burn power for the priest here. I'll accept 2 power from the Haflings. upgrade Stronghold. I should be able to store all that power at that point, right? I'll have 3 in this bowl and 6 in the center. That actually does not enable storing all of that power still. So I suppose the best line here is just to power cap myself. That's a little unfortunate. But it is what it is. I guess the alternative is I could take this now. I'll still get power capped doing that though. And other people are liable to prefer this spade to using it first. So I think it's right for me to just go ahead and make the stronghold right now. Yes, go ahead. So I could do a conversion to be able to accept power from the Haflings, but it would be converting for this priest here. And it's not obvious that's exactly where we want to be. It does save us an action in coming towards this. I think it's better to leave ourselves the option. Right, we lose out on 2 power by not converting, but we actually spend an additional 4 by taking the bad priest conversion as opposed to the good. I know the prices are printed 2 differently, but you have to remember gaining power works at half efficiency. So we'll just stay power capped. It sucks, but we're doing it. Okay, the next question to ask is if both of these come around and are still available to us, then which one do we want to take first? And I think both of them save us 2 spent power out of what we would need from poor conversion rates. So I would be inclined to go with the white cubes. That could be contested on the first round, whereas the priest is not very likely to be at this juncture. This, the witches player is making kind of a bizarre start. One would expect them, if they don't go for the temple and earth 1 favor before building, to just go straight for their stronghold. But I suppose they wanted really badly to compete for this. An unseen advantage of handling the conversion, or rather not handling the conversion to remain power capped post stronghold, is that it does keep a lot more tokens in the power bank as the game goes on. And that's going to be pretty helpful, probably. It won't matter very much once we pass the threshold where we have all our digs upgrade, which we're definitely upgrading our digs to capitalize on this spade scoring. The Alchemists are, in the abstract, the second best faction for upgrading digs after Haflings, and when the scoring incentive is there, we'll do it. But prior to dig upgrades, it's going to be really useful for us to be able to take actions like the double dig. Even afterwards, we'll adore this action quite a lot. This will effectively be our cheap discount double dig. Something a lot of people don't think about playing this game is that when we're competing for spading wildly in round 4, the Haflings will of course hit their high efficiency mark of a single worker per terraform. But we can actually do better than that as alchemists, the only faction that can. And that's thanks to this stronghold power we've already given ourselves access to, where every time we spend a spade we recover 2 power. So if you think about just cycling the power to get workers, and using the workers to make spades, which gets power, which makes more workers, if you kind of riddle out how efficient this is when you play the whole engine, then the way that shakes out in the end is that we'll be able to spend effectively 2/3 of a worker per spade. So that's a 50% efficiency gain on the Haflings, and we'll be very happy for that when the time comes. It is a little surprising that the witches are just sitting here, waiting, timing out on the Haflings' dwelling building whether they want to gain power. Oh, okay. He finally noticed that the clock was on him. Oh, no, he did not. He's still waiting. Well as he's a nice... Yep. Okay, so... So heading forward, we don't really have any options. It looks like the one player got kicked out from clocking out, and our Swarmlings player is quitting. That's a real shame, because I like our spot here. But, oh well, there's not to be done about it. So, yeah, we only have one opponent now. So we'll just have to go ahead and quit this and hope that we can finally, 3rd time's the charm, right? That we can queue for something real. For some reason, Board Game Arena is calling me the winner of that game. I don't really understand. The best theory I've got on why that is that I had the highest score at the time of them all quitting. So, woo, let's call it a win. Because Board Game Arena did. And hopefully the queue won't take too long this time either. Let's close that chat. Oh, there we go. It's gone now. Alright, I'm gonna take just a minute grabbing water. Don't trash my stream chat while I'm gone. And I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, I'm back now. If anyone's actually watching me, I hope you all took a moment to get water too. Stay hydrated. So it might be interesting to check out for that particular matchup set. Statistically, how do those four factions shake out? So in the Snellman database, we have, which faction am I missing here? We also had the Haflings. So statistically, that is in fact a good matchup for the Alchemists, at least over Haflings. As I said before while I was picking, I do actually consider the Alchemists a very strong counterpick into the Haflings in those round 4 spade scoring rounds, which is really a big blight on the results that Haflings can put up in general. Just because that's really the only type of round where anyone wants to play them. So it does say here that the witches have an edge, but given that they had a pretty janky witch opening, and we had a lot of strong things to finish out doing that turn, we're going to upgrade shipping once, and then spam out some dwellings. And we were going to end with more points than them too. I really think we were in a good place. One more. For anyone wondering how this is computed, it's a pretty weird statistic that got tracked by Snellman. They compute a weighted score result rather than a probability of victory or like expected placement. And this score result allocates 6 points for a win, 3 for second, 1 for third, and 0 for fourth. So over the 3 games in the database that happened with this particular faction lineup, the Alchemists got an expected 3 on that metric. So maybe they got second all 3 times. It is unfortunate that with my favorite faction, the Alchemists, we typically don't find many games in the database because they are definitely played a lot less. They're not... Admittedly, they don't rank super well overall, just kind of overall their games in the database. They don't tend to do super well, so you could say they're a low-tier race. But it's also useful to remember that the stats listed here are actually for a different version of the game than the one that we're playing on Board Game Arena. Board Game Arena uses the Landscapes expansion. And so the Alchemists in the version we're playing will have access to the Gloomy Workshop, whereas they don't for these stats. Now, you can also note that adds landscapes in for all of these factions. So, the fact that we got a Gloomy Workshop by itself is certainly not super indicative, given that other people got, the camp, the bridge tower, the chaos portal, the coral reef, etc. But I think the Gloomy Workshop is a little atypically good among special landscapes. So, I do think it serves to boost Alchemists relative to the competition. The other ones that are really strong are the Cave of Wisdom from Giants and the Flight School from Fakirs. Are definitely extremely powerful. The Mermaids one is quite good too. So I think those 4 factions play better on Board Game Arena than the statistics here would suggest. That is not a high bar in the case of giants and fakirs. Alright, one more opponent. Since it's been running for a while, we're definitely gonna have a bunch of queue broadening on this one. So again, pretty likely that someone really good or someone really terrible is gonna get paired against us. But we'll see. Mm-hmm. I think for anyone who wants to play around with these stats and check how the different matchups shake out themselves while we're going through a faction selection, I'm gonna post the link to this page in my stream chat, so you all will have access. Alright, there we go. Still waiting on one opponent. Board Game Arena claims that it's only 2 minutes. One wonders how it's computing these expected numbers, given that it hasn't actually made any progress on the task. The only fair way to say that it's getting closer is if it has broadened the acceptable matchmaking ELO gap. But in my experience, BGA sometimes just gives you optimistic estimates that grow increasingly optimistic through time. Just in hopes of looking like it's making progress. So it's unfortunate, but possibly it isn't. We'll see. If it hangs like this another 5 minutes or so, then I'm gonna go ahead and refresh the page. That will, of course, make us have to re-queue again, but it's better than being stuck in one of their dead matchmaking pools that isn't going anywhere. And sometimes it can, in fact, get you in a deadlocked matchmaking pool. You can tell because when you go to cancel it, it tells you that you weren't actually in a queue anymore. Which is really, really frustrating. Whew. If queuing is taking too long, then I may defect a little and go play a Pokemon match while we wait on it. Hurry up. Alright, another minute and I'm refreshing this page because it does definitely have a tendency to get stuck in this searching for one opponent at 1 minute state. I'd rather get thrown into one of the live matchmaking pools with fewer people than be stuck in this dead one. Whew. Alright, time for the refresh now. And you can see after I refresh, it definitely was stuck in a bugged state. So let's hope it can find us someone for real this time. Behave, Board Game Arena. Since we're at the head of the queue now. Oh, no, never mind. Maybe we almost have a match. Just one more. Alright, in we go. Oh, and in fact, one of these people was the same one that we just played against. This fat Rudge. I don't really want to try and say that one. This person who has named themselves Fat. Alright, what do we like the looks of here? So this time we have all 4 of the point scoring bonus tiles in. Again, still missing that 6 money one. And we have access to the priest. We're missing the upgraded shipping tile this time. So that could be... even though dwellings score in the first round, that does make it rather tricky to do a potential dwelling rush with the witches on round 1. The reason we pick witches for that strategy is not so much any innate faction powers, is just they're green, and green has the ability to put a million dwellings on this map from the get-go with only a single shipping. Right, you can imagine if you start here and here, then you can jump there. If you can execute just a single terraform here, you can then proceed to fill these 2 spaces also. And if you have access to even one more space of terraforming, which is really realistic, given that you don't have to, you can often grab this 6 power. The double dig, because you don't have to race for an Earth 1 favor. Then you can also terraform here and then build down there. So it ends with so many dwellings on the map, but it's a lot harder to do without the shipping upgrade. And it's a lot less desirable to try to do with the priest card, because you're missing out on the power that puts you so close to the double dig from the get-go. So I don't know that I particularly want to try that. Okay, we have Chaos Magicians in this game. That's, seems like it'll be spicy. Round 2 town scoring tends to be something that you can't get unless you're playing with the Swarmlings. So that may just be a non-factor for everyone. I'm interested to see what else makes it in here from other people. I sort of got in the mood for Alchemists again from that last game, so I may well just toss them in here. It's really my go-to faction to submit, particularly because I don't enjoy the Darklings. Alright, Haflings. Okay. Really, the witches would have been the other faction I was somewhat interested in doing. We could maybe scrape some kind of bizarre dwelling rush here, but let's not. Without the plus shipping card, it would be a bit of a tall order. So, unlike the previous round game where we opened on Stronghold because we were paid points to do it, we may well just consider the starting temple this time. An advantage there is that's certainly a lot cheaper. It doesn't give us the 12th power or start giving us these incomes as fast. But getting an income of priests is nothing to sneer at. We will certainly need that priest income if we're going to try and capitalize on this spade scoring in round 3. Kind of the rough one for us, actually, is dwelling scoring in round 6. Most factions are pretty happy about late dwelling scoring. We'll have difficulty playing our game without getting our dwellings down sooner than that. So let's really hope we can get as many as possible in round 1, where we're paid points for it. Still waiting on a faction here. We got the Orin. Okay. Woo! This is a pool of some bad races. Orin are just terrible, really. And though they can execute that exact same dwelling rush opening the same way that the witches would be able to. So that's sort of them at their least bad. The Chaos Magician's definitely not a strong faction. Really, it's just kind of slightly underpowered factions all around. The Haflings without their spade scoring in round 4 are notably weaker, though still playable with it in 3. Also, I've run into this M3T3Y player before. He's quite strong. Or maybe just deciding to goof off this game, given that he's contented himself to just be the Chaos Magicians. So there's kind of an interesting cult dichotomy in this game. Chaos Magicians and Orins, of course, always score awesome on the cult tracks. And the Alchemists, typically because they recycle their priests so much early for shipping and or dig upgrades, they really don't make that much progress on them. And the Haflings are usually just on one temple for much of the game while they prepare for their dig combo. So you have two factions that are pretty bad at interacting with the cult bonuses and tracks, and two that are great at it. And that means that we're probably not gonna make any particular efforts on the cults, because we only need to make enough efforts to beat the one guy. And then if we wanted to make efforts to take second on anything, they would just be such a huge increment up from that to edge out Orin or Chaos Magicians that it's really not worth it. So, cult points are great if we can get them easy, but we do not want to go absurdly far out of our way in a build order for them. Given how bad this faction pool is, I'm... sign me up for Alchemists, definitely. Really, the one of these that I won't play is the Orin. There's just not a lot of incentive there. Okay, we have a lot of jokesters here, or at least two of them, willing to go in blind on the Chaos Magicians and pay more points for them than other races. Which, you know, great for them, if that's how they want to be. If I get fought too hard on the Alchemists here, I'll happily switch to Haflings. But my preference is not so great. But, I really would not take the Orins unless they were at significantly more points than the other races. And I'm actually okay with grabbing Chaos Magicians sometimes. Under the right circumstances, which these aren't really, they can do pretty well. But they really aren't those circumstances, sheesh. And of course these people are fighting them down in victory points, so we're not going to look twice at that one. Let's go at least one more on Alchemists. This is really crazy to see. Nope. I'm happy to play Alchemist at a 7-point difference, too. So Haflings would be second chair. We almost certainly wouldn't grab this Spade bonus card. We could get one of the ones that grants additional white cubes, potentially. Is he gonna bid us down even harder on Alchemists? Let us find out. Let's think about layout here, I guess. So Chaos Magicians are likely to start either here and build this way, or start here and then steal these tiles. Haflings will definitely like this place. They always do. So there's going to be a lot of action on this inside continent. If we can jump down the outer shelf quickly enough as Alchemists, that's fine. Because we don't really need to compete over into here, or down this direction where the Orin would likely come. That is going to make it even harder for the Haflings to get out of their usual favored start location. And they won't get enough power leech starting over here. So actually, this analysis is causing me to believe that the Haflings are a little worse off even than is typical. We'll go ahead and bid down further on Alchemists. I can't believe this is still happening for Chaos Magicians. Okay, this guy's thinking long and hard, so maybe he's finally gonna bid on something that isn't his beloved Chaos Magicians? Nope. Alright, this is getting really crazy. One more. Maybe he'll be deterred by the fact that the leading digit is no longer a 2. But if he fights down to 18, I will jump on on the Haflings here. If we take the Haflings, we definitely need the Temple Start to gain 2 priests by the time we have to go on our spading spree. Oh my goodness, this fellow's taking Orin and... wow, okay, I guess I should expect that anyone who's bidding the Chaos Magicians down so aggressively surely isn't picking their race on the basis of what they think is best and is picking it on the basis of what looks fun to them. So I suppose this action should not surprise me. But let's see. Is he gonna jump on Halflings for 30 or Alchemists at... oh my goodness, the Orin are okay. Well, this has gone off the rails now. I may have gone down a little too far on Alchemists relative to Halflings. I could definitely see that being the case. But the fact that these two are down so far, it's just ridiculous. Oh my goodness. No love for Halflings at all. He may yet still come back on... okay, he did come back on Alchemists. So I did promise that at a 12-point differential I would prefer the Halflings, and so I'm gonna stick by that commitment. It just makes it all the sweeter that Chaos Magicians and Orin's points values went lower. Let's see what we can do here. I guess, so we're not in first chair, we're in second chair, but we still have to make first placement because first chair is the Chaos Magicians. We're definitely gonna want to start on 2 different continents, and in order to form 2 towns out of this, we're gonna need to make them, it'll either have to be here and here, or it'll be here plus some other adjacent place so that we can connect without upping our shipping too many times. So given that almost all those instances, I guess we can come around here too. I think if the Alchemists make the kind of a classic black start of these two, which I don't think they should, that's more of a Darklings opening. But if they do, it could actually be a little dangerous to try to compete on this continent. We could start here and terraform this way, and then make the jump with shipping. Basically, in all these cases, we wind up connecting to this adjacent anyway, so I may as well just place it. If the Orin and Alchemists sandwich me right here, I may have to work hard to make this into a town, but on the bright side, it means I am taking a ton of fast power. So, we can live with that. Okay. We expect that placement from alchemists, because if they don't do the double start on this continent, then they're probably looking to connect via this shipping route and across the top here. So either of those two configurations results in this being one of their intended start places. If they don't put the other one on this continent, then we actually get reasonable range to move around here how we like. By starting on maybe here. Alright, no surprise the orange started there. There's a bunch of spots they could pick in and around here, but this one's, it's next to me. So it's not surprising. I could actually wind up sandwiched in the three-way in the middle, right? We could get Chaos Magicians here, or in there, and then the alchemists here. And if that happens, I'm gonna get a ton of power, but I'll need a bridge to make the town. But the bridge to make a town is a later problem. We can deal with that. Okay. So this triad did come through. Yes, where else do we want to start? If we start here, we'll need 2 terraform actions to flip that before we can come here. But it does enable a very easy town setup once we have that. And the alchemists definitely wouldn't race in this direction when they could take this or up shipping and jump to these. For the Orin, this is a triple terraform. They would come up here or jump across the gap. So I do actually think it's safe to go here because I don't think this tile is disappearing from us. Alright. The alchemists don't actually need full 4 spaces here for a town. They can make their sanctuary here and cram in a small town. This kind of sets up that I'm going to have free reign to build a town here. If there's any way we come to a total of 3 towns on this game, I'm going to need reign on this continent to make a full one without starting here and then having him cut me off rapidly. So maybe I can get 1 in here, 1 down here, and then 1 across here. That's sort of living the dream. All the towns we might come by. The Chaos Magicians, their starting options are basically here or here. They can't not be adjacent to someone or else they pay through the roof to get their favorite tiles. I was really hoping he'd pick this one. I think in the abstract this is usually their best placement. But it is what it is. Whatever. Let's see what bonuses we can get. I guess we know the Orin will be upgrading here if they upgrade anywhere. Because they're not going to take the isolated one. Alchemists have either option. And the Chaos Magicians only have 1. So I think I want to upgrade this one in preference. Because it's like an expected 1.5 or so people I can be leeching from. And even starting in this placement, it's pretty nice that I get, It's a nice deal that I will have, I move before alchemists, so I sort of like signal to them that this is the other place they can collect power leech. So they should start by upping this one if they want some too. They can of course choose not to cooperate and punish us both. But, I try to set the right incentive structure for him. Okay, can't believe the alchemists were let to have the spade. I do not think this was the right one for the Orin to take at all. But whatever, I guess they're going with a stronghold rush. So how do we want to open here? We're not particularly well situated to take any cult bonuses. I don't really like this. We're not going to be upping shipping, so we don't want that one. We could take the single white cube, or the 2 money plus some points, and just start scoring a little faster. So let's think this through. If I go temple, a temple first, that's going to consume 4 of my 6 workers, and then I'll have 2 left to build. If I have the double spade action to go here, that lets me go build. I would need to come up with more spades to build past that anyway. And that seems like something I'm not going to be able to do. So I don't know that this white cube is more than just plus a white cube. I don't think it enables any magic play. On the other hand, this one is really only scoring us 3 points. The money will be better sort of in the long run if this white cube didn't enable anything extra though. Right, we're going to be very tight on money with this set of bonus cards as the Haflings. So we may come to appreciate that we gave ourselves a little more of it. I do think it's okay for us to just start out on this point scoring card. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I could have also taken the priest and just been sure to jam in this 3 slot and receive this spade cult reward here. I don't know. I'm not sure what of those is right. We will get some points this way. Not a lot though. Okay, Chaos Magician's first. I suppose he's gonna also counter-signal that he wants to upgrade here in preference to this one. Yeah, so maybe we do just have to upgrade here. It gives us more power of buildings in a more useful spot anyhow. So that seems fine since we know Alchemists will definitely lead on this when that's the configuration. So we're gonna collect, but here we can collect it from the Orings too. So it's probably the same either way, but this puts our temple in a more useful spot for town founding, if we're gonna try and get that town on round 2. Not sure we could realistically manage that, but with 3 spades it is possible. Okay, so in it goes, trading posts for us. Please give us all the power. We want many spades so we can complete this town quickly. Not quite enough to double dig yet. Now it's enough to double dig, but we risk losing out on an Earth 1 favor if we take the double dig right now. Just because everyone is situated to upgrade to temple and take that one thing. Suppose it was right to open with the priest card. This feels like a mistake in retrospect, because otherwise it seems quite likely that the Chaos Magicians would choose to start Priest, and then they can definitely gain this this slot, which is clearly the highest value on this cult sequencing. But oh well, it is what it is. It would really be something if the Chaos Magicians competed to this tile next. We could do a lot of cutoff here on the Alchemists and keep them just in the 3 spaces. Which is all they really need here anyway, but I don't know. It's just nice to think we may well get this town. There's a lot of thought going into this move, though. So it would be a little surprising to me if Chaos Magicians didn't just grab a temple. The usual recourse with them is to try to go for a sanctuary first. But maybe they're more interested in taking this single spade given that dwelling scoring scores this round. Right, then they could spade this tile, build there. Upgrade shipping and then build here. And that would give them... Oh, sorry, spade here instead, and then they could build both of these. And that would really be quite something. But if they lose access to this power action, it won't be possible for them. So let's see what favors get taken. It would not be weird at all to see an Earth 1 go. It would also not be weird to see 2 longer-term income tiles. I certainly like grabbing the Earth 2 one here, just because Earth scores so well. There is some fire scoring, though. They could... I suppose it doesn't impact whether they receive this power bonus now, if they take Fire 1 or not. They definitely don't want Fire 2 right now. So their real options here are probably Fire 1, Water 2, Earth 1, Air 2. I don't really like taking the Water 2 up of those right now. The other 3 I prefer significantly more. Alright, are we gonna have another player timeout on us? This is gonna be really... Okay, well, with 1 second to go, he picked a favor. What did he get? He got Fire 1. That was one of those options. So we may not actually have to compete super aggressively for the Earth 1, because I don't know that it's within his power to receive the a sanctuary here. What would that require of him? He would need an extra money and an extra worker if he uses the priest as a worker. So he could do that. He would have to make a lot of inefficient conversion actions out of his Powerball. It's probably not going to happen. I think it's a lot more likely he'd go and build some dwellings. So I think it's right for us to burn through our Powerball so that we can have the double dig right now. We'll terraform this without building, then grab our Earth 1 after, and then we can build twice. And that will end in a pretty happy round for us. So let's go ahead and do that. It cuts us off of the double dig for future use, probably, because we'll be on exactly 6 tokens. It's unlikely we could max out our power capacity and do it again. But that's fine, we're halflings. We don't need too many digs garnered via these cheaty power actions. We can just make fair conversions for most of the game. We will need some to get started. So, here we go. And let's double dig. No one has the power to race me to the tile, so I'm gonna do that now. Actually, since no one can race me, is it better to take this and somewhere else? No, that takes me in this direction when I really want to be coming up here, so for a single dig I can complete this town next round. So we will turn this into, with 2 spades. No, not that. I want this action. Spend here. Yeah, terraform that for me. And, no building. Because that way we get more points out of, if we build them after we take an Earth 1 favor. Also, this way we still absorb the same amount of power from the alchemists upgrading this, which is pretty sweet, because trading posts and temples are actually both level 2 buildings. So, huzzah for that. So we're actually going to manage taking a surprising number of points here before our spade spree on round 3. So that's certainly a happy outcome as far as Haflings are concerned. We're not going to have access to as many tiles to abuse our spades as we might prefer, though. Yeah, definitely sign me up for more power. Did they just snap grab an Earth 1? Yes, they did. Okay. Now it can be taken... Another Earth 1 can be taken here by the Orans, if they're into that. And then it is actually possible, via a large number of inefficient trades, for a favor to be stolen away by the Chaos Magicians here, the favor that we want. Yes, the Orans grabbed the expected favor. No shockers. So let's see if he makes all those inefficient conversions. I suppose it's actually not as inefficient anymore thanks to the Alchemist sharing the power. So all he has to do is take this double white cube. Oh no, if he takes the double white cube action to make it efficient, then we can in fact steal it away. Okay, so he has not made that choice. And then we're very happy to steal the last Earth 1 and build our 2 dwellings to end the round. Temple upgrade. Sign me up for some Earth 1. So we're definitely going to want to expend a priest to get this free spade cult reward next round. But that actually means we won't have enough priests to fully upgrade our digs by the time the digging spree needs to happen, so we need to get one somewhere else. It could be paid out for with power, that's an option. The other choice is we have this priest bonus card. So we don't actually super mind passing on to that, onto that card when the time comes. Though we'll definitely prefer this free spade and 2 money to anything else. And here's more power for us. Lovely. It's very kind of him to choose this route and not going up this way adjacent to Alchemists, because it gives us a little more fast power. It's a little weird though, because this is the more critical tile for him. He's not going to be able to connect these except via some shipping arc in the north. So if for some reason the Chaos Magicians stole this tile, which they almost certainly will not, he would be in deep trouble. I guess he could build here and connect, but that's just more inefficient for both of them. Okay, things we want to do. We just want to build more dwellings. We definitely want them all now because we need as many white cubes as we can get, and they score for the round to build dwellings, so we can't consider premature passing to get a bonus card we want. Oh yeah. Okay, we have Pass from Alchemists. That does open up the bonus we would want most. But like I said, there's just no way we can consider premature passing. So let's hope it's still somehow there when it comes back to us. We do know the Chaos Magicians will take another turn building a dwelling? No, I suppose we don't know this. They don't have any shipping upgrades because they somewhat bizarrely spent the priest on the fire track. If they'd upgraded shipping, they could have gotten another dwelling out. And they're gonna need the shipping long run anyway. Okay. So the Orin won't be passing for a while. I don't think. No? Perchance they will. No, they need to use this stronghold power still. So we can be safely assured they won't steal our spade card. Don't know about this Chaos Magician fellow. He would have to come up with 2 more actions to take to not steal the card we want. And he found one by building a bridge, and now we know what the other will be dwelling right here. So I guess actually we will get it. That's really incredible. Really, really incredible, but we're super happy about that. Everything is turning up Haflings here. We're even gonna pass and claim 3 more points immediately from our bonus card. So let's go ahead and do that. And I can't move on to this priest, which I'm very, very interested in, so let's take a free spade. We love being able to use our power for more white cubes so that to aid their dig spree on round 3. This also gives us the couple coins we need to make the dwellings. So building 2 dwellings here will not actually beget a town. We would need to upgrade one more thing. It would be nice if Chaos Magicians came here. They should, and then this can be a full town for them. Then we could upgrade this to a trading post, and we'd have our town here. I mean, the other option, of course, is upgrade this to Sanctuary. I don't want to pay the increased price on trading posts down here. But getting a Sanctuary does give us 1, 2, 3 levels of buildings here, then 4, 5, 6, 7. I loathe to do that though, because the Sanctuary is so expensive to place early with Haflings. That, and also it's we may well need it to found our extra towns out here. We might need them to be more compact and fit in 3 spaces, and that is only achievable via Sanctuary. So we're leading everyone else by a gazillion points. That's really cool. Love that. What are we looking to do? We're looking this round to, I suppose, next round we want to upgrade shipping, or upgrade digs twice before anything, so that we can start using our wild halfling spading. That only requires us to have as many banked up dwellings as possible, and two singular coins, and then a priest. Plus the priest will get from income. So we lost access to this priest. Hopefully we can take it the next round, because I do dearly like the idea of taking this slot right here, right now. It just gives us an extra bump on Earth, and 2 more power than we get if we take one of the crappy ones. So I think I'm fine doing that. In fact, it gives so much power that I can have reasonable confidence in obtaining enough power to do the hard convert version of a priest if I must on the next round. Hey Alexabyte, welcome back to stream. Glad to see you again. So what did you miss? Well, I won the Haflings for way more points in this auction than I should have. The good direction of that. Other people bid far too low on the other stuff. So, I'm not a super big Halfling lover, but I'm happy to play Halflings here. When I get paid so many points to do it, and also everything's going great so far this game. So, I think we'll be looking to get our nice round 2 town founded already here. But what I'm debating is the possibility of a risky play, giving myself potentially 1 too few priests for the next round digging spree execution. But I think it's worth it. We'll get an extra 2 power as opposed to if we wait. And I would very, very much like that extra 2 power and 1 step on the Earth track. It'll be 1 money later. So I'm gonna go ahead and shotgun that. Let's hope it works out. No conversions. So Halflings, just so you know, are all about digging. They just love shoveling their poop around, because they cover everything in poop and then they live there. Their special powers, they get a point every time they use a terraform action. That's a point per step on this terraforming terrain wheel. And also they can upgrade their worker exchange rate more cheaply than all the other factions. Yeah, as one does. This is a very normal way to live one's life, obviously. So we're going to be looking to make 2 of those upgrades next round when using a terraform action. It scores 2 points. And then we're just going to terraform wildly for the rest of the round as much as we can and score 3 points per instance. It's kind of a reduced spree. You usually hope to have the terraform come later. But that's fine. I got paid enough points to play Halflings. I'm content with that. What I'm really hoping is that the Chaos Magicians will dig this forest tile into a wasteland. Because if they do that, I can complete a full town here. If they don't do that, it's going to be hard because I need at least 4 spaces to count as a town, and I also need that it have at least 7 levels worth of buildings in it. And unfortunately, I will only have 6 if I have a temple is 2, dwelling, and then 4 dwellings are all 1. So I could fix that by upgrading a trading post here, but you have to pay a lot to upgrade a trading post if it's not adjacent to anyone else to trade with. So that's why I'm really hoping Chaos Magicians come here, and they should soon. I don't know if they should right now, but this is where they should be headed, because then they can fulfill a town criteria right here. They'll have the 4 connected spaces. They've even already built their bridge. And they could actually complete a whole town in this 4 if they took that spot. I think they could complete it this turn. Maybe not. They may desire to upgrade the sanctuary instead. Yeah, Chaos Magicians have a really crappy start. They have the sorry, Illusion. I didn't see it was you who said that. Yeah, I'm sure you're quite familiar. Look at them Chaos Magicians go. The bidding was really astounding on, Yep, they do get double favors. Every time they would normally take a favor, instead they take two. It's pretty crazy. So, but they have a crappy start because they only get a single dwelling to begin with. The bidding was really astounding on this. The Chaos Magicians went for some minuscule number of points. People bid away all their points for Orin and Chaos Magicians, and I bid down the Alchemists, and I wound up getting the Haflings like 10 points higher than everybody else. Which seems somewhat crazy. I think we're in a really strong position here. Things have generally gone our way from the opening, and of course the amount of points people bid was just ludicrous from the get-go. So, do we want to take one of these two power actions? It's reasonable to think that we might, burning power cubes for it, because of course after we upgrade all our digging, we're not gonna need more power actions to dig. We can just do it all by spamming workers. So in order to complete a town here on round 2 for the scoring, I am going to need a dwelling, and then either an additional terraform action to build here with a dwelling, or instead I could opt for upgrading this to a trading post. And I think I actually just like spamming it all out as dwellings. That has a lot of appeal. Because then I get the most workers for my turbo dig spree. So if I want to do that, then I need to block this power action right now. Dig here, build here, use my free spade from my bonus card to get the last one. And I have enough resources to do all of that too. This also gives me an out for making up the potentially missing priest pre-digging spree, because I can take the town tile that gives me a priest. So I like this plan. It does burn me really low on power tokens, but we can deal with that. What are my thoughts on Gaia Project? I'm not familiar with this. Could you explain to me what that is? It certainly has a snazzy sounding name. Terra Mystica in space. Like actually Terra Mystica? Does it recycle a lot of the same game mechanics? Is this something that's, I assume this is an already released game? Clearly I've never played it. But it sounds like a reasonable concept. I could imagine a lot of, okay, very similar. I could imagine that if you themed this in a space setting, you could get a lot more interesting sorts of terraforming and different orthogonal metrics of terraforming too, right? Like you could terraform along some kind of oxygenation axis and, water content, or if you want to take a science fiction approach to things. And that might be kind of nifty, maybe. But I really don't know how it got implemented, so I don't think I can comment on that. Sorry. I play quite a lot of games, and that is not among them. So the Orin player definitely wanted this single dig before we stole it. I don't know that being mean to the Orin is really a priority. That's kind of like kicking a baby in the shins while it's down. But, if it happens incidentally, I think we're okay with it. The Chaos Magicians aren't going to be able to get anywhere productive until they upgrade their shipping. I don't know why they haven't done this. They still have the option. Piff? Don't piff at me. Unless it's in regards to my nonchalance about kicking the baby. Where do I fall on the kick the baby versus don't kick the baby spectrum? I would say in whichever side I'm getting more points for. Alright, what just happened here? Oh, Chaos Magicians accepted power from the Orin upgrade. I think the Orin are in deep trouble. They're not collecting much of anything as resources. They're not spread out. They don't have means to become that way. It's really not looking great for them. So I'll go ahead and grab this tile. And then I'll use my free bonus card Spade and take that space too. You'd like to see the Chaos Magicians gain 5 workers off the Cultist track. Are you talking about in round 4 from this fire scoring? So that's definitely a possibility for them. Yeah, it's sure. Dope is a thing, one could call it. Unfortunately, it's a little... The weird thing about this is they're getting paid 2 Earth dividends back to back. And they didn't focus on... And those come before the fire one, right? Like, the fire benefit is definitely discounted because they get it later when it can make less impact. So I really think they should have been focusing Earth, but they don't agree with me, and that's... You know what? That's fine. I, of course, am well situated to capitalize on both benefits. So actually, Chaos Magicians do not have that favor tile. They passed on that. They took 2 income favor tiles, which I do think is kind of reasonable with them. So there's a lot of Snellman statistics kept from past tournament games on this, and the results show some interesting things with some truly large sample sizes with very good players to make this statistically significant. So you can be pretty confident in some of the conclusions that get drawn there, and really, the stats that shake out of that is that Earth favor tile that you're calling the broken one, it's actually not usually the best favor tile for people to be starting with, but it's never very much worse than whatever the best one is. So, you can really just take it blind always without thinking, and you'll do just fine. Anything else has high potential to go badly if you don't really know what you're doing. Haflings, though, are a race that leans somewhat heavily on it. The other 2 that lean on it a lot are witches and mermaids. So you're saying you don't have to get it first, but usually you do if you're going to get it at all. It tends to get bought out and people won't let you circle back to it. I really think if he'd played his cards differently, he could have opened by upgrading to a Sanctuary, and then he would have had 4 round 1 favors. And then I think he would have been remiss not to take it as one of the 4. But, what's done is done. I'm pretty happy about how it all shook out in the end. And let's get our last dwelling. dwelling. And I get to found a town. So unfortunately, I really need to take this 9 points and a priest tile. Otherwise, I won't be able to upgrade my digs twice for the digging spree. I just won't have enough priests. So this is the town tile. Confirmed. And now we are 1 billion points ahead of everyone, and we haven't even had our halfling dig rush. It's not going to be an enormous dig rush, given that it's a round 3-1 instead of round 4. So, yeah, I see you say that you rush Sanctuary with them, and the stats back that up as sort of the one true way. That it's really a significantly better opening for them to end with that. So I always go for it blindly too. I think the exceptions are few and far enough between that I don't have to worry about them. We will be passing for our next action. So, because we could spend the priest, but we really don't want to. We need the double dig upgrade next round. So, passing is, how many workers are we going to come back with? Right, we'll have these 7 income plus this one makes 8. So 8 workers, 4 of them will pay into upgrading digging twice. And then we'll have 4 digs for our dig rush, which is not great. We could make it a 5th dig with this bonus card here. Alright, well now he's coming around to his sanctuary. But I feel like it's very diminished significance to get that now. Rush Sanctuary and get the +1 boat tile. Oh yes, the Chaos Magicians really don't have anywhere to go if they don't upgrade their shipping. Right, if you look at the contiguous red regions on the map, or even just the contiguous regions that they can terraform to red in a single action, they really just don't have much. They have this clump of 3, but everything else is groups of 2 separated by 1 shipping gaps, like right around here and here. They can gap over to this, then come this way, so they all nearly always need to get their shipping boosted ASAP. But they don't have to do it the hard way, as you point out. That +1 shipping for the round tile is really a big boon for them. And also, I'm sure he's proud of himself that he capped off that fire track, ignoring the one that mattered. So that's cool. I'm a little surprised at these. The air one is not super unexpected, but I would have expected maybe this water 2 favor tile to let them increase themselves on occult 1 step every round. Also, I suppose the fire one makes sense actually, given that it gives them a town right now in the town round. Okay, I see the logic. That also lets him cross into the final step of the fire cult. He needs to found a town first to do that. Oh, you meant the town shipping. Maybe they did? I guess you're right. They don't have any priests to spend on Earth. And they can't take Earth 1 or Earth 2 because they have them, and this Earth 3 one would just be terrible in any situation but endgame. And they can't take Water 2 and jack themselves up a step on Earth to get the requisite 4 for the spade. So that actually does mean that they really... They really, really, do. On, I think his choices leading up to here were poor, but on the margin, the best way he can dig himself out is, in fact, taking the 2 favors that he did. Okay. Yep, you saw it faster than I did. Good job. I think it's time for us to pass here. We could take this extra white cube, which would be 3 more points in our digging spree, because it's a 5th dig. But I don't think we want to, because we get paid so many more points for just having dwellings sprawled out anyway. We've already got almost all our dwellings out. So, and of course we have much lower income of money. So I definitely think we want this dwelling scoring card. Let's happily pass on to it. There is a hidden, kind of a hidden bane for us in being the first to pass this round, which is that these spades will get applied in the order that, in the turn order for the round. So we're going to spend ours first, and then the Orin player will spend theirs. I suppose it's as long as the alchemists do not procure any, it's fine for us to turn this brown with our 1 spade, as long as we build on it first thing in the next round. Because we don't want the alchemists being able to steal it. And that should give us pretty free reign to fit 4 tiles in here, right between these 2, and then that sets up for our second town nicely. And of course we'll jump down here for number 3 and only need a single shipping to gap across from here to here. So this all seems like it's going awesome for us. Your favorite key. Which key did they take when they founded the town? They took the one that gives a boost to shipping. I actually don't like that key very much. And the reason I don't like it is that if you compare it with the priest and the money keys, assuming you have enough of the opposite resources to boost your shipping manually, you will get paid vastly more points to collect the resources than make the manual boost. Like, quite a lot more points. And you wind up with some free money left over out of the deal if you take the money tile. So I usually lean away from this shipping one. The one big exception is that I always, or virtually always, would take it with fakirs, because for them, of course, it increases the range of their carpet flight. And 2 versus 3 range on carpet flight is really a huge gap. It lets them make so many more jumps. Like, they can finally jump over onto this continent and grab this triangle. They can jump from this tile off over to this desert. Hey, Hortagon. Do I want to be famous? Yeah, I would be pretty happy with being famous. But I think... Yeah, I have my first ad spamming bot. Lucky me, I'm big enough to get targeted by the bots. All of a few people watching me. Let's see, how do I deal with this? Boop. Okay, he's gone. Okay, I apologize. I don't mean to run afoul of your personal identifications, Illusion. So we do have 2 bots in here. Okay, so now we can use our spade. The only other person who gets it is the Orin, and they won't be interested in terraforming this 3 tile. If they come anywhere, it'll be here and here. So we can happily grab this. Then we'll build on top of it for the next round and spend our 4 spades. Oh no, we'll only have 3 spades remaining if we build the dwelling. So actually, what we would ideally want to do is build the driller, but that's not a legal move here. We need our stronghold out for our special tile. So I suppose if I want to do this without building anything, nope, that's not possible unless I start terraforming random tiles I have no intention to build on. And I don't want to do that, so I will indeed switch this one. And they came right up alongside us. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is definitely build here, as we said we were gonna. Because otherwise it's a single terraform for the alchemist, and he can entertain the idea of a town wedged in here, and that's no good. So, for us. Now the rest of our 3 free workers will be used as spades, since that's what scores this round. Really nifty that the Orin blocked up here. The reason that's so nifty for us is it makes it almost impossible for the alchemists to escape out of this noose. Like, they won't be able to connect this up to the rest of their network unless they get to this spot before any of the rest of us. And it is 2 to terraform this position for them, whereas it's only 1 for the Chaos Magicians. So I suppose they probably will come here, but even then they'll have to take some inefficient shipping trades to connect up with this. So that's super duper happy. Let's see, the spade actions are predictably disappearing super fast on the spade round. Who could have guessed that would happen? We don't want this to get turned into forest or to have the Chaos Magicians build here. So that's 0 terraforms for that to... well, I guess actually this is sort of an immaterial discussion about what order I should go about taking these, because I am clearly not spending spades until I've gone and upgraded my digs this round. So I'll have to take that first. That tells us our next 2 actions. Up we go. We're not going to have any money, and we're not going to get any money income. And that is not a happy combination. So, hopefully we can leech enough power to grab this 7 money here. Because we're certainly going to have tons and tons of workers. Workers for days. That's some power. I'll happily take that. Let's upgrade our digs again. And now we have turbo digs. Ooh, they're building over there. Have the Chaos Magicians gone and gotten... They have upped their shipping. I missed that interaction. The Alchemists also upped it to 2. which is not surprising. It's very easy for them to upgrade their shipping, but they don't have anywhere obvious to ship to. From here, they can't actually reach any free spaces at 2 shipping anymore. They would need to come to this tile with 3, and then they could connect. They can also cut down to here with 3 shipping after grabbing this. So we will want to buy that space up before they can. It's quite useful to us. Alright, Orin possessed the ability to change this in a single terraform. And that's... The Chaos Magicians cannot yet reach it, even with their shipping of boosted to 1. So it's probably good to deter them by terraforming this away a different color. I suppose actually this is more proximal to Chaos Magicians. If they had 1 more shipping, they could build here, then down here. So we should be the most worried about reserving this space, given that they can't get here without some prior terraforming and construction. So the question now is, do we want to terraform this in 2 actions or in a single action? It just affects our pastime. And I think the bonus card we want the most is probably this one, given that it lines up Stronghold Sanctuary scoring on the same round that it pays here. So that gives us a nifty combo of things to do, and it comes with some good resources loaded on the card. So we want to race to that. The Orin will probably beat us there, but we're happy to take 2 money and a free spade, I think. We're also pretty happy with 2 money and a priest. Really, we need money. So on that note, let's go faster. Wasteland, now you are poop. No, I will not be building. You think I really need the money bonus. So the biggest money bonus is actually on the Alchemist card. But I can only take that if I can pass slower than them. And probably I can't. The rationale for this being that they have tons of workers and 31 potential spendable money. Whatever the bottom of the board... Oh, you mean this action. Yes, the power action. I absolutely need that. I agree times a million. It's kind of nifty that the Orin have decided to cut this space. They'll probably then build here with little interest in coming to there until after these are secured. And then also that means that the Alchemists cannot connect via shipping from either this tile or this one to any of this network. It's impossible unless they first connect down here, then across the bottom. So they're going to have a bear of a time building a big network. It also carves out for the Orin a nifty... they'll have their 2 towns lined up. So that's something. I think I'm happy to terraform this red tile into a yellow tile. It takes it farther away from the Orins. So I will go ahead and do that now while spades score. And then even more ridiculously, as far as point leads goes, is that when I pass this round, I'll get 7 from my 1 point per dwelling bonus card. So I am up a bazillion points in this game, on top of having a really nice position, outside of hurting for coins. We can hopefully start fixing the hurting for coins over the next few rounds by upgrading some trading posts. Only threat is green. Is this true? I think I still worry about the Chaos Magicians. I think they have some available plays. The Orin are set up for two very convenient towns, and they're probably going to win the cults because they're the Orin. The Chaos Magicians will be pretty close with them on cults, not too far behind. They have the one town established already and no easy access to another, but, you know, they're raking all of these free benefits every turn. So they could really, they're only 1 point behind Orin here, they could maybe make a big pull from behind. But I do agree with you on the Alchemists. I have written them off out of this game. I think the only thing left to think about with the Alchemists is making sure we get this evil tile before they connect from here down with shipping. Which they may not even attempt to do. Green should get 3. Do the Chaos Magicians have inefficient turns coming? Is that even true? They're collecting a lot of good incomes. They have inefficient turns in terms of where they can navigate. That much is certainly true. Okay, so these bonus cards have shuffled around a lot. Where do we want to be? I think we would... We're probably not going to wind up passing on many trading posts. And a worker is basically as good as a coin because next round we're realistically going to have to down convert some coins. And we'll be looking to go Stronghold in preference to passing on trading posts? Is that actually true? It may not be. Because if we upgrade our Stronghold, we'll get another digging spree. But we don't actually have places to dig until we've upgraded shipping and we can jump down here. So I think I would be... When I pass here, I would be that's your point about navigation. Yes. Yep, you're right. The Chaos Magicians, they've got some terraforming on their hands before they can spread anywhere. Their easiest access is to terraform this one, then they can come here for free and there for free. But I think they're still a shipping shy of managing that. So as far as bonus cards go, I think we are on the Priest. Just because it has 2 coins on it currently. And that may be enough. Or, alternatively... I don't know that we're well situated to get use out of this bump up one on a cult track. But the extra coins are nice. I think I'm a fan of taking... I will want to upgrade shipping next round. Yeah, so I'm going to pass on the Stronghold, I'll get what TPs I can, and grab this tile. I can wait a bit on this. This is a tricky call. So no one has upgraded digging except for me currently. Not even the Alchemists have upped it yet. Yeah, I don't see an easy second town either, but maybe they can make something happen. I guess the fact the Orin have cut through here will make that very hard for them. I think my inclination is towards the Priest. With another Priest also has the potential to gain 2 power here by going up on the Earth track. I don't think that's not the benefit I'm chasing. This is really a very tough spot. On the other hand, the cult space bump by 1 has some equivalence to the priest. Perhaps we just need the money. Okay, we'll take this one, since BGA is yelling at me to play faster. So how much money will we come by? We'll garner 5 from the cult reward and 4 from our bonus card. And that makes 9. So if I want to upgrade shipping... Leash. 9, it's almost ideal to just build 3 trading posts, but we don't have room for that. So I think we'll build a dwelling and upgrade 2 trading posts. And then that should, yeah, that should work out pretty alright. Actually, to that end, I may well have wanted this trading post scoring card. Woof. This priest card is turning very attractive, but I don't think anyone's going to grab it. We're going to want to be on scoring bonuses for the last 2 rounds. Hopefully the Orin will bridge this gap to this space. And the reason I hope for that is I want to have adjacent neighbors for a 3rd town down here. Wait on the trading post favor tile. I'm not sure about that. I can do significant... I recognize that upgrading trading posts pays this round, but I can't really do much if I don't upgrade trading posts. I'm running out of dwellings to place, and I can't place my special tile either until I have a stronghold out. So perhaps the line is, instead of getting 2 trading posts, get a 2nd temple. And then that temple will enable me to gain trading post scoring, and I can upgrade a bigger bulk of trading posts on the last turn. I think I like that. I will ideally want the sanctuary in here, so there goes the money action. That's a shame. We were hoping for that, but with no realistic expectation of getting it, so whatever. Oh, you mean picking up the bonus tile with trading posts? Yes. Yeah, you and I are on a bit different wavelengths with some of the terms. But, I agree with you that this will be very high scoring to take next turn. I don't know if we can make a great detour for the water 1 favor here, though. It would be quite a trick to make that happen. Okay, that's more power for us. Not enough to take this action next round, but hopefully by next round we'll have enough to grab this. So as discussed, I'm going to pass on the stronghold till after I have upgraded shipping, and I think I just want to get trading post, dwelling, and then call that. That should be good enough for this round. I think that's okay. We'll be looking at taking the money town tile in here, of course. We can complete this town next round, upgrade shipping, and then I can... But I'll want to upgrade shipping, then complete this town with a stronghold upgrade, so that I can use the spades across the ocean on these spots. Okay. We can do that. Actually, maybe I terraform this with the driller, so that I can then upgrade these cheaper and have more space in there for a town. That sounds really lovely. So if I want a stronghold upgrade in here, this needs to be, I suppose my forecasted trading post, dwelling is a plenty good place to end this round. So let's go ahead and grab the dwelling first. I don't have any appealing power actions to take. Is that right? The Orin aren't going to build there. It's actually maybe a little better to upgrade a trading post here in case that leeches more power. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's really nice to get that big coin infusion right at that timing. It'll let us upgrade into the trading post to start making some of our own coins, so we won't have such a lopsided distribution of materials. So next round, to go upgrade shipping into Stronghold, I'm going to need to pay out 12 money. And that's a lot. I suppose I can hopefully get a fast pass and then be set up to take this action. We know I'm going to get some power income from these trading posts. It does require me to leech 1 power though, this round, because I'm only going to be passing on 2 trading posts. Also, these point discrepancies are just enormous. I'm more than 50 points ahead of everyone in the middle of the game when I also have the best economic stuff going. It's just really crazy to think. I guess you could argue the Chaos Magicians have better economic things. So what happened there? The Orans, did they upgrade a temple just now? They did something that was adjacent to the Alchemist faction. Oh no, sorry, that was the Chaos Magicians doing something adjacent to Orin. Oh my gosh, it's the Chaos Portal! That seems more exciting than it actually is, I think. But it might set up the Chaos Magicians for Town 2, somehow? It's a little weird they went for their stronghold here, rather than... I guess it's not, because they needed the cheaper trading post building, but it means it's 3 levels worth of building that can't really be part of a town. But there they are, via the Chaos Portal. So I know you're somewhat new with this game, Lexabyte. Just to explain that for you, the Chaos Magician's special building is this portal, and it auto-constructs whenever they complete their stronghold, and they can put it on any wasteland anywhere on the map. So that's pretty nifty. Their stronghold actually does quite a lot for them. It gives them an enormous income of workers per round, and it gives them the power to time stop once per round, which lets them take back-to-back actions. So it's a pretty strong stronghold, but the reason they don't rush it so quickly is because they have such strong temples and sanctuaries, because whenever their passive ability is that whenever they would take a favor tile, they get 2 favor tiles. So, yeah, like, all of their higher level buildings are very scary. But, thankfully, they take a while to get there, because red is not the best situated color on this map, and they only start with a single dwelling, as opposed to everyone else's 2. So they're very much a come-from-behind sort of faction. The People's Champions. So you're both talking about things being scary, but I do not feel scared at all here, I have to say. Really, it's just incredible how far up I am. No reason to be scared. Except that Alchemists did take this and have 3 shipping, and now they're gonna grab that spot, and that sucks. Okay, that's rough. So if we want to build a town here, with the driller on this tile, we can start terraform these both in a single action. As long as we can grab this, we can make a town here that connects via 1 shipping. Because they will definitely outrace us to that spot. There's no way to fight that at this point. Hopefully they don't take too many of these away from us. Hopefully. This forest is really where... If we can get the forest and the lake, we'll be okay. Let's see. Last in every endgame score and still win. Yeah, maybe. That's a real possibility here. I think we want this tile now. Thankfully, Chaos Magicians can't ship from their portal down here. Make it my goal. Oof. You're one ambitious cyborg. I think we're gonna want to rely on the town bonus here to speed us along in this turn. So we'll head towards that here. Build the dwelling before it's taken away. It could be very challenging to get last in every endgame scoring. Right? Like, I'm not sure that I can back down below them on this Earth cult. I kind of like the idea of making it a goal. The Orin special ability tile. Yeah, their tile it's you know, it finally makes it feel like a coherent design for a faction, at least, that they're all about hitting max rank on as many cults as possible. But, I don't know, it still feels a little boring to me, even though it gives them a very solid victory point goal, just because all it does is give them victory points. I kind of like the ones that have other, more varied abilities more. Alchemists still haven't maxed their digging yet, either. That's kind of nice for us in that it's holding them back a little from competing at our digging rate. But it is going to be really, really hard trying to fight them for this landscape. A ton of variety in abilities. That's pretty nifty. I wish there was a little more variety in this game. I feel like the alchemists and the chaos magicians and the mermaids and the engineers really feel like they have super unique play styles. And everyone else, they have their quirks and uniquenesses, but It does start to blend together a small amount for some of the other factions. There's a lot more commonalities than differences for sure. Also, we just managed to pick up the power we want to get this 4 money action next round. Or is that even true? I suppose we actually got the 1 power we needed from the Gloomy Workshop. So we're going to decline this power because we're already going to get 2 free power in here. So we don't want to pay a point for it because we would much rather go early and claim this money action next time. So pass. No thank you, alchemists. Also nice that the alchemists didn't race here first thing. They're not in hyper imminent danger of losing it, but they need to be careful because I can definitely gun for that spot. And if I do take just this 1 tile, all of a sudden, all of the competition on this continent will vanish. There we go. So I do have the option to also build here for the round, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Unless, actually not doing that will give me priority on the money action, and I do need that sorely. Right, like I said, I need to get to 12 money. Unless I am willing to take the shipping tile that I have espoused on how much I dislike. And 12 money is quite a goal, but I can make it. Okay, he took it away from us. Not surprising. Okay, so do we want to pass just so we can be sure to get this next round? The downside of doing that is we can't take this favored scoring tile. We would have had to go through a lot of... the Orin have many moves left in them, so I don't think we can wait for them to come off the tile. So I suppose we're actually pretty okay contenting ourselves with this. But do we have to do it now? There's an argument to be made that we don't. How far away is the 500 ELO? I think I'm a hair under 350 right now, so it's a good distance away. But, aim for the stars, and I'm going up more than I'm going down because I haven't played too many games on this site yet. So definitely the Chaos Magicians will be building a dwelling. Or that one. The Alchemists will probably take more actions because they have so much power they can convert into workers to do things with. And the Orin certainly have a lot of actions left in them here. So I actually do think it's safe for us to build this dwelling and still be first next round. So let's do that. Conversions. There we go. And now we can dig this and build our dwelling. Which removes any possible lingering angst about losing this town. So that's nice. Another thing we can consider doing is spending our priest here. It'll just turn into a worker for the next round. But also, move us up on this cult. And that's something. It'll be nice to have the edge on the alchemists in another cult. But I don't know if we can really postpone passing that much. Will 200 points happen? I don't know, but I don't need that much. I only need about 170. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not talking about ELO, are you? You mean, will I actually achieve the legendary 200 score for this game? No, I will not. This game has been going well. It's definitely not going that well. So if we compete here, alchemists will likely want to dig this, because otherwise they don't have any viable way to connect to this network, right? They're gonna have to be looking to connect from here or here via shipping, probably down to... In their mind, the picture-perfect scenario is turning this to evil and this to evil and building both of them, and then with their 3 shipping, this will all be one giant network. So we have to prioritize that space the most. We can really work with anything here as long as we get these 2. I suppose that means we have to get either or on these, but getting these 2 is going to be a trick. Definitely not easy. If we don't get these 2, then connecting our network becomes a literal impossibility, which is a good way to work towards our friendly cyborg's goal of me getting last on every end-of-game scoring metric. As predicted, the Chaos Magicians made another move there. Yes, let's all choose to believe, chat. We can believe so hard. So I am actually significantly less enamored with the bonus card the Chaos Magicians will offer up on passing. We're not going to have a Sanctuary or a Stronghold down, which... it won't pay us points, and we really don't have a lot of... Oh no, sorry, we will actually have a Stronghold. The intent is to build that immediately next round. If we cheer hard enough, it'll happen. Let's hope it's possible. There's, I don't know, 5 or 6 people here. With our combined forces, that's more than enough to form the entire Captain Planet cycle. Which seems like the most appropriate set of superhero people for a game about terraforming. Okay, what of the... Oh, sorry, the alchemists did what with their turn? Oh, they passed. And they passed on to the bonus card we wanted, but what did they vacate in so doing? They vacated the shipping card. We're really not happy about that one. It's only 3 points. So I think now we want to wait for the Chaos Magicians to pass first. And then the hope is that if they pass before us, we'll have access to their bonus card buried underneath, or the Orans. We're very happy with either of those. So let's go ahead and send off our priest in the name of trying that. Go get him, priesty. Just relax and enjoy. I'm with you. That's not a pronounceable name. I'm with you, Alchemist player. Alright, so definitely the Chaos Magicians will pass here, I think. It would be somewhat unthinkable for them not to. They can spin up power to, or the white cube to do things with their power and build this dwelling. Maybe that's not so bad. What rings it would take to summon Princess Titania? Maybe rings of sugar, spice, and everything nice. I think let's start with that.
Right.
And glitter, yes. So are there outs for an extra Chaos Magician town if the Orin are too slow to take this space? Then the Chaos Magicians could terraform this to Wasteland in a single shift, and they would be pretty well situated to connect this up. That would be a little scary. I'd certainly rather see the Orin get the town than the Chaos Magicians, just because the Chaos Magicians have a better board state. Who are we waiting on? We are waiting on the Chaos player. Okay. So unfortunately, we may not get this money action next time. That's... oh, well, now we don't even get a bonus card we want, but we do get the money action because the Alchemists sure aren't gonna head for it. We have nothing to do here. So, wait, I can still take special actions? I don't believe you. No, I changed my mind. I believe you. I took this cult card. Okay, so we can actually wait one more step. Where do I want to increase my spot? I'm not particularly inclined towards gaining power with the cult bump. And the reason for that is very simple, that I won't be able to accept all the incoming trading post power already. So, the only other spot where I'm in contest with people on cult steps, I guess water and air are both. But there's a lot of vacant priest slots here. It would be cool to win this one. So I think I'm... I don't know that I realistically get myself towards this water spade goal here. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my spot on the earth track. I can make sure I get second that way. Or maybe I can even defeat the Orin in the quest to the top somehow. It seems unlikely. Go ahead and give me an earth boost. Yeah, I agree with you. The Orin have not had very much productive to do. Okay, Chaos Magicians did get cut off, which is a thing I said I was hoping for, so yay that. The Alchemists do still have the possibility to terraform and build here. Not that they will. They'll definitely take this as their next one. And we'll just have to hope we can race to it. If not, we're going to need a dwelling on this space to connect a network, and then we're going to jump down here and try and build some towns in this mess somehow. And we'll figure out how that is. Somehow it'll work. Okay, so Chaos Magicians are passing in front of us. We can take their bonus card. Yay us. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because I want to get some points on pass. And that's the last scoring card up. When you come back with food, you expect 200 points. Enjoy food, get something delicious. How about 100? Would you settle for half your goal? I feel like quite a lot would have to happen for me to get to 200. Like, no 200. Okay, fine. Maybe somehow we can get like a giant nuke to drop on this part of the board and just free it all up for me. That's a plausible out. Really, we need some meteors to cooperate. Or maybe hardware failure on a board game arena server. You'll settle for 150. I do think I can get 150 by end of game, but I do not think I can get it by the time Illusion returns with food. Depends on what he's cooking, if he's cooking. Hopefully he's cooking, so I have enough time to get some points. It would be really bad if he just grabbed a protein bar, wolfed it down, and headed back, because I would still be in this 96. Alright, who are we waiting on? We're waiting on the Oran to decide if they want to do anything else this round. Probably not. I don't know that we can race to this space in time. Oh, another option if they take this from us is that we can wedge a town in these 4 tiles underneath them. They probably wouldn't have a significant aversion to that, given that they don't have space for a town here anyway, as soon as we get on any of them. And then this tile connects us by shipping. Okay, there's more outs here than I realized. We don't have a lot of money. That sucks. But we do have many, many workers. We need this thing as our highest priority. Unfortunately, it probably won't exist for us. Alright, this has been taken. Now we needed the Chaos Magicians to do anything other than that, and they did that, but it's the thing I would have guessed they would do. So now we're gonna have to use really inefficient power for money. Let's see, if we upgrade shipping, then complete the stronghold. No, that doesn't work. Then we can't complete the stronghold unless we spend a ton of workers as coins, and I really don't like that possibility. So I think what we can do is found a town by building the stronghold that upgrades our shipping. Then we'll have shipping for the same spade flurry that the Hafling stronghold begets. And then we can take this space, which is our last hope to connect on network. We really, really need it. So I think we're going to make that happen, and apply the rest of the spades here in hopes we can make a town in this direction. Or is it cheaper to do it here? Maybe? If I put the driller here, then these both terraform in... No, they don't. That's rough. Suppose we want to bump up against the alchemist here so we can get a cheaper trading post upgrade. Okay, let's go ahead and build that stronghold in the manner I described. So, we're gonna spend... we're gonna spend all of the power to make money. Why is this lagging so hard? And then hurry up and grant me my shipping. Upgrade to stronghold. I can't click the button fast enough. VGA is lagging too hard. Okay, found a town. I need this shipping bonus. So please, gimme. Now I get the Hafling Spade Flurry. I will immediately apply spades here because I need this tile. And that is actually all of the 3 spades. But I have to get it, so that's what we're doing. And I can build on it to reserve it for myself. Or at least I could if BGA would let me click buttons. Please, stop it. Done. Yes. Build. This is not my fault at all that I'm running out of time. That's very frustrating because I don't see how we're going to come back on clock the way that all of these are lagging out. Okay, so I'm hearing that my connection is cutting out. Let's see what I can do about restoring that. I apologize to the viewers that my network is misbehaving. Hopefully it should improve in just a moment. So we have our connected network, we have 2 towns, we have our stronghold built which enables driller placement. That's a very big asset to us. What we do not have access to, we need to dig this space or else we can't continue down here. And unfortunately it's 3 terraforms for this one. Oh no, I can dig here in a single action, and that's what I'll do. Nope, that doesn't work either because I don't have dwellings to place. So perhaps I need to dig... Nope, this is a triple dig also. This is really quite tough to figure out how I'm supposed to do this on 1 shipping and found a town in here. The alchemist cutting us off here is really, unfortunately, problematic. Given my inability to place tiles other than the driller right now, I could be at a big loss for this round. We're not going to have a lot to do the next couple turns. We do need to break onto this continent though, and that would probably involve use of the driller. So I think the ideal I want to do is terraform this into the driller. It only takes 2 terraforms to do it, and then these are both become cheap tiles via adjacency to driller. And I can either head this way to get a neighbor for a trading post, or I can take that last space for free, because it's already brown. So that's definitely the way to do this. It's deeply unfortunate that that money was stolen from us and these were stolen, but I guess you can't win them all. I guess there's an option for heading this direction to found a town, but that seems substantially more costly. This tile is a bear to terraform, and it's not where we want to put our driller anyhow. So let's go ahead and driller right here. Then we may well wind up passing for the round. We don't have anything productive to do with a priest. I suppose we can put it here to collect 2 power. That does make a coin, which lets me upgrade a trading post, but I would want to do those upgrades in this space anyway. So let's head right there. So for those unaware in the audience, the Haflings special tile, the Driller, causes adjacent things to need one fewer spade in order to terraform them to the poop terrain. So now I've changed these from 2 cost and 3 cost to 1 and 2. And then hopefully the town can proceed this direction and be adjacent to him over here. Okay, that's some power absorption. Unfortunately, we want to get a dwelling in here, but we can't get a dwelling until we upgrade something somewhere to a trading post. And then this is the one we would want to upgrade to trading post. So that really stinks that we're going to have to do an inefficient TP. And I suppose I'm going to want to do it here. It is better to do it this round while it pays points. And then so I can reap its incomes. But I don't know that that's a possible thing to do. Right? If I spend a priest here, I can gain 2 power, and then I have 2 coins from my power bowl plus the 2 workers. But I would need to absorb a total of 2 more power in order to get that TP upgrade. I suppose I should have thought about this before and done this in preference to placing the Driller now. That was a mistake on my part. Whoops. I may as well try it though, right? The only reason not to be would be to make sure I can go first next round and have this bonus card, which is worth a clean 8 points. And has 3 money on it. But actually, I think I like just opting for that. We're not realistically going to do better than that in any of these cards. Okay. Yep, let's pass while I'm still in the lead. And take this card. Okay, am I coming through a bit better now? I think my network has stabilized some. Hopefully I am. Understandable if not. Either way, Illusion seems to have not noticed the difference on account of being out for food. So the Oran player has their special tile in place. And that's pretty... that lets them score an extra 4 points every time they hit the max rank in a cult track. But they can't hit max ranks in cult tracks until they found... Oh, I suppose they do have 1 town already, by virtue of taking this. So they can max out these cults. So, if I wanted 4 tiles here, this is... I'm not sure it's going to be possible to assemble the 3rd town. Getting cut as I did here is just too much with him taking this space and me not being able to use that as part of the town. The triple town would have been lovely. Oh well. We're still going to end with a pretty sizable network. That's something. We need to build as many dwellings as we can next round. They pay us 5 points each. 2 from our favor, 2 from the round scoring, and 1 from our bonus tile. Unfortunately, we have no dwellings to place, so we will need to upgrade trading posts to gain access to dwellings. Am I actually going to absorb enough power for me to lead off with this money action? I don't think I am. If I had placed the priest pre-pass, I would have. Well, that's a shame I didn't do that. That really would have made for a much higher score, but there's no way this money action will wheel to us. If we're only interested in placing dwellings and not founding a town, we can build here and here. That's 2 spots in 1 terraform. We have lots of spaces to put our dwellings. That's not really a problem. The bigger issue is how many dwellings we can gain access to. I really should have skipped on the driller and upgraded this to a trading post and then placed the priest. That would have met for a much higher point count at end of game because it's going to cascade into me getting a total of 5 fewer coins. 3 less by having to spend the power the inefficient way, and then 2 more from missing out on trading post income. Know what else is a shame? Yeah, that I'm, I guess, 87 points short of the mark you need to not feel shame towards me as a streamer. It could also be a shame that you didn't find any delicious food to eat. I could really think of a lot of things that would be a shame here. Is there any possibility that I gain 2 more power before this turn ends? I really wish I'd stuck the priest in, but if I do gain that 2 power somehow, then I'll be able to lead off with this coin action, and it'll enable me to do so much more for the turn. Smiley face. I'm guessing that means one of the 2 things I guessed. Oh, you got food. Okay. So it's the disappointment in me personally. Wonderful. Yeah, looking at the math on this, it seems utterly impossible. I could found a town here with the screw up and him cutting this spot. So that's not happening. That's a shame. We'll just maximize our dwelling count for the round. Each one is going to come at 3 workers and 5 coins. it seems like we're probably not going to be able to do... Hopefully we can make 2 dwellings that way. That's sort of the best we can do for area scoring, too. We've really bungled the end of this game a lot. But we should be able to defeat most of these people on area scoring. The worrisome one... I don't know, the alchemists still don't have their most efficient digging capabilities to really power dwellings down this coast here. I suppose they also still have not connected up. And they can't connect their network if I take this space, so maybe actually it's not bad that the driller is where it is. Oh no, they can also connect by grabbing this one. I would have to take both to deny their connection. Whew. Chaos Magicians, what are you thinking of doing? Looks like the cult placements are mostly pretty locked in. Should be easy for us to take 3rd, 4th, 2nd. This is really the one we need to compete on. So there's actually some value in jamming our priests in early too, just to make sure we can do better on this track. Ooh, that grants us 1 power. That puts us 1 away from our goal of taking the 4 money action first thing. I don't know that it's realistic for us to gain 1 more here. It would be great if we did, but if we don't manage it, then what we'll have to do is, we'll have to, spend one of our 2 priests here first thing, collecting the 1 power, and then we'll be eligible to take it if it somehow wheels to us. Which is maybe possible, given that this last space should be somewhat contested. No, maybe it shouldn't be, actually. Maybe it's not so high value to move here, because we know the Orin are going to get a free cult bump of 2 on this track. They have no incentive to apply it in any of the others. So they'll still sail right past us without a use of a priest. Unless we manage to take both of these slots. I can't imagine we would, though. Alright, the Chaos Magicians have adjacency to us nowhere, so we can't gain power from their turn. More favors, huh? Oh, they finally got some of the point favors. This is really embarrassing after how well I played the opening, but I think I've done poorly enough with my decisions in the last few actions that this may actually turn into a close game. Now, top 5 games? I'm not sure I could... Oh my goodness, we got that extra power! Oh, thank heavens. We have to lose 2 points for it, but it is so worth it because it gives us access to this leading money action. So we will slam that action first thing. Thank you, Orin. You know, it's a little scary here from the Orin, actually. They do have a lot of their high-ranking buildings placed. We really don't have an easy lock on largest area. We should be able to get all but 4 of these placed. I don't know if other people can do better than that. The alchemists are the most believable for defeating us in area. So I suppose that means we want to come and grab this water tile next. We have a lot of choices for where we want to spew our dwellings, so it's okay if you know, I suppose these are equally good as far as the alchemists are concerned. They both terraform to evil in a single shift. So we should not prefer this one. We should in fact prefer the poop. Just because it saves us a white cube. Okay, that's even more power, but we're power capped now. What favor are the Orin going to take? They don't have access to the water point favor. They have no realistic means of founding an additional town. So I think in their shoes, you just want this Air 1 favor. They'll be able to pass for probably 7 points over the course of the game with it. And it bumps them on the one cult track they have that's meaningful to receive a bump on. So yes, they did take Air 1. So, Illusion, what's meant by top 5 games? Is this some other website that one can play this on? Might have wanted to grab a coin on conversions. I don't think so. I don't regret not doing it. I recognize I did get power capped, but it'll in a considerable way. But then I would not have I wouldn't have actually gotten... Yeah, I get 1 more coin, but it's not... In order to take it, I actually have to receive a point penalty on the second temple upgrade that happened here. Because I power capped myself to get 1 power for free from this. My top 5 favorite games. Certainly I love Terra Mystica. That should be no secret given what I've been streaming. I'm a big fan of Gloomhaven, if you've heard of that one. I do think it has some rather severe balance problems, but outside of that, it's just a lovely design. I've really enjoyed Through the Ages. It's sort of Vlada's board game adaptation of Civilization. This is the same designer that did Codenames, if you know that one. I like Spirit Island a lot. That's by Greater Than Games. It's a cooperative game. Sort of thematically the inverse of Settlers of Catan, where the white people come and try to colonize your tribal island and you murder them all. I think I've spouted off 4 at this point. My last favorite is maybe like the War of the Ring. It's a reenactment of all of the Lord of the Rings events, and you can play them out in different ways. Oh, you're familiar with TTA. Are you a tournament player for that game? Whether you are or not, it's definitely a very good game. And I'm eagerly awaiting its expansion. Just because, it receiving an expansion means, like, they fix a lot of the balance problems in it, is basically what it boils down to. Alright, let's take our obvious money action. We have money now, finally. War of the Ring is in your top 5 too. That's a fairly obscure title. I'm a little bit surprised, but pleased. So you must be quite the board game aficionado. If that's what you're, if you're familiar with several of these. You're not, but it's a game you'd play in tournament. That's cool. Pretty awesome. So he's coming here in efforts to complete this town. That makes sense. Maybe that means we can be fast enough to grab both of these and prevent the connection. I'm not certain about that, but we have to try. I still think we're on far too resources to entertain the idea of founding another town here. Okay, So what do we want to do as our next action? I think we need to upgrade a trading post so that we can even have access to build a dwelling. Where do we want to upgrade that trading post? Probably somewhere where someone would have to pay infinite points to accept the commensurate power. So let's do that up here, because I doubt they want to lose 5 points no matter how much power it's giving them. Actually, that's not even an option. They'll get power capped. Oh no, they'll probably spend out some of this power on their next move. Never mind. Orange shipping is still at 0, so no danger of them jumping to this tile. Really, I don't see anywhere they can... Like, they have to upgrade shipping to go anywhere at all. They're completely landlocked without shipping. That does not bode well for them. Certainly they can up shipping, but then this is the only tile they can get to, and doesn't require gratuitous terraforming. So, I guess, yeah, let's... Okay, who gained the priest? The Orin player. I don't know why. That doesn't seem like a particularly constructive thing for them to do when they could take these 2 workers. You've played it in IRL tournaments. Is that at conventions, or did you just organize something at a board game shop? That's pretty cool that you did that. I have been an IRL tournament player for a lot of games, but my biggest one is Bridge, the card game. Since I only made it through 4 board games, we'll count Bridge as my number 1. I love Bridge. Mostly because I played it professionally for a very long time. And I actually made a pretty sizable amount of money for myself in my youth doing that. So is it better to upgrade a temple first so I can get points from the trading posts? I think not. I think this is overly limiting in how much I can build. If I want to get 3 dwellings out, I'm overly constrained on resources for that. So, Oh, I can't take the water one favor anyway. It's disappeared. Okay, well then we have no interest in that line. Here you go, Orin. You can take minus a lot of points if you want to gain this power. Played Tichu? Nope. No, I have not. Sorry. So unfortunately, I don't think it's very likely we can steal both of these from the alchemists. He'll surely notice the jig is up when I take one of them. Especially because then I'm going to have to upgrade another trading post to take the other one. Whew. And there's still these two priests to spend in the back, though those don't really get us anywhere on the air track unless we need them to beat the alchemists here. So it's not obvious we have anything meaningful to do with our priests other than use them as a different type of, like a worker. It's very cool to see alchemists paying out resources that aren't in taking these, because that means maybe we can just block his connection? I don't think we can. He would have to be very slow on the uptake. A trick-taking game with special abilities. That makes me less likely to enjoy it. Other trick-taking games like Hearts, Spades, Pinochle, Canasta, etc. All of those I've just found far too basic next to Bridge. That probably sounds like a really snobby opinion. But it's really how I feel about it. There's a reason Bridge stands up as the most played strategy game in the world. It does in fact narrowly edge out chess and Go. So let's go ahead and build our bazillion point dwelling. 5 points, but that's a lot. And then if we can grab this to break the Alchemist network, I still think we can win this largest network bonus, maybe. Nope, there he goes. Okay, he wasn't gonna let us screw with him. Oh well. Do I want to gain that power? Maybe. If it allows me to build an additional dwelling, the answer would be yes. Where can I terraform for a single action? So there's this tile out here. This one costs 2. Everything else costs a little more. Okay, so I'm looking at a minimum of 6 workers and 10 gold paid in order to make 2 more dwellings for the round. And that's actually achievable. If I use a priest as a worker, I can accept this in order to gain another coin. Yeah, okay. And then I can spend one of the priests as a coin, which is fantastically. A math appeal to Bridge. Yep, you guessed it. I love math. So we're pretty content to take this trade. Whew. I would expect a cyborg to love math. That would fit the Star Trek Spock-like stereotype. So we are going to need... Oh, we're also going to need 2 terraforms to make the sequence I just described happen. 2 terraforms is a lot. That's 2 more... Oh, 3 more workers spent. Crumb. So I think I made a mistake accepting that power. I don't think I can do everything I want here. It'd be awesome if I could. I don't think it's gonna happen. So I probably just decreased my score a point for no real reason. Let's see, how much am I short? This spends out to 8 coins. I spend a worker as a coin, and I'll be at 9. I can spend a priest as a coin and a priest as a worker. So I am short a single coin. If I can absorb 2 power in any manner, I can make this have been worth it and take some extra points down for it. So where might that plausibly happen? If the Orin decided to get another temple? But they don't have any use for any of these favors at this point. Unless they want to take the Air 3 favor just to try and finish this track for their Tree of Serenity bonus. If my friends won't play bridge with me because I always win, I should try teach you. I actually might take you up on that, because my friends in fact won't play bridge with me because I always win. I was at one point... well, no, I'm not going to go ahead and dox myself by citing any of my bridge achievements. Sorry. But they would somewhat uniquely point to me. Okay, maybe I want a priest in here. Actually, I do want to redeem a priest in here just to make sure I keep my 2nd place. And the priest... I was already planning to spend 1 priest as a coin, so a priest for 2 power, I can then spend the 2 power as the coin instead. So this will... yeah, that seems lovely. You play games with me no matter how many times you lose. Aw, well that's really sweet of you, Lexabite. Thank you. I may need to set something up in the future where I can play with some of my viewers while I stream. That could be a fun experience. So, I think I am gonna go ahead and make that placement with the priest right now, because this is not going away from me. And anywhere else I would have access to terraform in a single space. I don't have access to such places, but... Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and spend that priest now and just hope more power comes through. Because I'm gonna want the priest here either way. Go, priest! Oh, whoopsie. No conversions yet. Because if I gained 4 power here, that would be enough. I can accept all the power I need for this game. Not sure what the alchemists think they're doing here. They don't have the possibility to found 2 towns. They really ought to just complete this one. Oh, I see. They lack the means to do it. They cannot upgrade either of these to Stronghold or Sanctuary because they're over here, and they would have to terraform one of these tiles. And this is a terraform by 2 for them, and their digs are still stuck at this rank. So they can't finish this town. That's interesting they went for this space then. I suppose they thought they were cutting me or something, but they're definitely not. Alright, leech me lots of power by building a temple in here. No? Okay. Advance on shipping track. How far are you advanced on shipping track? Far enough you can take this space. If you take this space, I will gain 1 power. That is not sufficient to grant me a coin. I would need 2 power to get a coin. Unfortunately, I can't cut this space right now because I don't have access to dwellings. Okay, so I guess we did end with this up here. Maybe the Chaos Magicians will use the Earth 3 favor to defeat me by building yet another temple. That is a thing they have the power to do. That would be a shame. Still not really much I can do other than attempt to collect enough power while stalling out. I'm definitely building 1 more trading post and then a dwelling over here at the least. So let's go ahead and do that. The Orin would power cap it receiving 4 power. I don't really want to give any free power to the alchemists, who are actually, I think, a larger threat to us. The Orin area is very tiny, but their cult scoring is fantastic. And they have a lot of points. Maybe it is okay to give it to alchemists instead. No, it's not. The Orin would have to pay out points to receive. So we'll go ahead and do that right here. This is the spot. Nice. I assume this is in, what did you call it? Project Gaia? Because there's not that many games that let you smash meteors into other players' stuff. Terraforming Mars allows it. Let's, yeah, I still won't be able to build... even if I paid a shipping price here to be able to get this without terraforming, that would be less efficient for me. So I definitely don't want to be upgrading shipping here. Or maybe actually it is a thing that I do, just to score 3 points with these resources at the end. But a different game called High Frontier. I don't know that one either, but it sure sounds like you play a lot of games, which is really cool. Thanks for being cool. Gotta love it when Twitch chat is chill, because the alternative is usually making dick jokes. Okay, Alchemist built this dwelling. I do not foresee them being able to make a town out of any of this, so that's great for us, but they will end with... Let's see, they can spin enough... Oh yeah, they can definitely upgrade a trading post and then even still build a dwelling after. So they're going to place all but 3 of the buildings on their mat. I do not think we can outcompete that unless we gain some unexpected power right now. We still have a couple moves yet to get it. We will certainly crush the Orin on area. How are Chaos Magicians faring? Their entire region is connected. They still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings left to place on the map. But they have a decent chunk of resources. Most of these are dwellings, so they're going to need to come up with a lot of terraforming action to make that happen. I don't think they can. There's no way they could come up with nearly that much. They would have to place 4 dwellings, 3 dwellings to tie me currently. And they don't have any way left they can terraform outside of spending 3 workers for it. So they should only be able to get down maybe 2 dwellings if things go in some super optimal way for them. Not the 3. So we've safely secured 2nd place in area size. That's something. You only play games. No instruments? There's not a whole lot of things people play that aren't games, but there are a couple. Or do you mean that's really the only activity in your life? If that is true, then that means you've ascended to some type of nerd nirvana that I wish I could join you in. So congrats on that. What did the orange just do? They advanced shipping again. That's because they're passing on the shipping card. Okay. And they did conversions to do it, so they're not going to steal this away from us. Well, that's nifty enough news. In fact, they're not going to do anything else this game. What do we want to be doing in light of that? Is mayonnaise an instrument? That really is one of the universe's age-old questions. I think I'm content to grab this as a dwelling because I can take it in a single terraform. And then I'm still sitting back hoping I can collect power somehow. And I probably can't get enough. So I still have that dwelling to place. Good. There you go. The Orin are gonna get a hefty point chunk when they pass here. 9 points. Of course, we're gonna reap 8 when we pass, so we'll still keep an okay-ish lead, I guess. It's sad that they went the route they did with the shipping, but it makes a lot more sense than trying to take a favor. That does mean there's really no chance of us absorbing additional power, though. Wait, alchemists are taking a favor. What favor would that be? Oh, they'll take fire too. And that will turn this into a town. And that will put this 1 power short of a town. They won't be able to pay to upgrade this into 1 though. But they'll still definitely take the fire 2 one, which means we're gonna lose to them on this cult track. That's a shame. Yeah, don't worry, Lexabite, your hands are still clean. Do Chaos Magicians just not realize that the clock's waiting on them? I don't think it's right for them to pay out 3 points for the 4 power. Okay, they agree. Taking a favor tile, he'll definitely grab fire too, no question. Yep, there it is. So they do actually, oh goodness, they actually can found a 3rd town over here. And they achieve that by turning this power configuration into a worker, spending the priest as if it's a worker, and then they pay out 3 point... Oh, alternatively they just take the town tile that gives 2 workers. That works. So we're really not in great shape here. I think we're gonna lose to the alchemists, which is crazy. Is the 2-worker town left? Yes, Deluxe. It was left as they took it. It is no longer because they grabbed it. Nicely done. Who are they congratulating? Yep, Yep, alchemists are definitely in good shape here. Okay, so we can spend the priest to go plus a point here, and then the alchemists go minus a point. Is that even true? It is not. They still can... Yeah, they still have access to their priest. So that's pretty rough for us. We can spend a priest here to ensure that we defeat them on this track. If we do not, they will spend up to 2. It would be really nice if we... Oh, have we acquired the means to... No, we have not. We're still a hair shy of being able to build another trading post and then a dwelling. Because we would need to come in with an extra 2 coins, it looks like. Is that right? So I could build the trading post by spending 2 of this, and then I would be left with a worker and a priest and a coin. I could use the worker to terraform something, but I have nothing I can terraform in a single action. This is still 2. So I think I'm gonna have to, I don't want to upgrade a trading post. It scores nothing to do it, unless I can build the dwelling immediately following. And it in fact drops my score by a point because of the bonus card I have. So I should go ahead and invest this priest right here, just to make sure I'm not defeated on this call. And then after I do that, I think everything else is just endgame resources for the whatever tiny scoring that entails. Nope, I am not gonna use any conversions. Oh, I should have done a conversion to convert a coin. Just in case I'm somehow granted the option to accept enough power to make the play I described. Yeah, maybe they will spend all the points for coins. It is a legal move to cut your score in half with alchemists anytime you want. And then in fact you can do it again and again. They can get themselves down to... What's the minimum on that? I suppose they can get themselves down to no points. But, it is good news that we tie the alchemists on network size? No, that's not true. They're going to upgrade a trading post, then build a dwelling to defeat us with network. So we'll be, and they'll upgrade this trading post here, or here, so that they have a town on this front. So it seems virtually certain that we're losing to alchemists. The question is, are we also losing to the Orin? That would be very depressing if so. Murdering yourself should always be a legal move in games. This, yes, Lexabyte, TTA has this as a rule in the manual, as the illusion points out, and it's very bizarre. The rule says that as your political action for the turn, you can concede the game. And it's kind of strange, because if you think about it, no one can ever stop you and say, no, you must keep playing this game no matter what. The universe does not enforce that. But it does help out a little to work as a suggested timing for concessions. That the game balance is a little better if that's the point people concede. Okay, so do we have anything left to do here at all? I'm pretty confident the answer is no. So if we're gonna pass, we don't want the ability to accept more power. We would like to be able to be passed power in smaller increments for less point loss. But we really don't have anything left to do. So that's the end of that then. So I don't know if we actually get enough to defeat Orans in the endgame scoring. They're going to take an awful lot off of these cult awards. Right, 8, 8, 4, and 4. That's 24 points from cults. They are losing area size. So they should reap an even 24 in endgame scoring. We can do better than that, I think. We get 2 points from resources, 12 points on network size. Unless, do the Chaos Magicians have some way to conjure up a coin I don't see? No, they do not. I think they have no actions that must pass here. Yeah, so we'll get 12 on network, 2 on leftover resources. And then on the various cults, we'll get 0, 0, 4, and 2. So 6 more. That gives us a total of 20 points. So they're 24. So I think if I've counted this out right, we'll beat the Oran by 2 or 3 points. Pen and flashbacks. Lexabyte, are you talking about the Professor A-Press in Super Mario 64? The Watch for Rolling Rocks guy? Yeah, if I'm counting this up right, the, oh dear, the Chaos Magicians actually can accept this, accept 2 power in exchange for a coin. Or in exchange for a point. They can use that to spin up a coin and then they can build here. And that enables them to tie us on network size. So that nets them plus 3 points. So they actually, basically, they can't, I don't think they can not lose. What's happened here is that because the Alchemist player chose to upgrade this trading post instead of this one, he gave the option to the Chaos Magicians to Kingmaker us into 3rd and let the Orans defeat us. Which is really infuriating. Yep, and he spots the line. So he went ahead and did it. That sucks. That really sucks. Alchemists, why'd you have to give Chaos Magicians the opportunity to Kingmaker us into third instead of second? We were safely defeating the Orans. And now we don't get to. You are a jerk. Alchemists will get past for 8 points. Chaos Magicians will too. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did the Chaos Magician player decline the power? Oh no, he accepted and built the dwelling. Okay. That's really, really annoying. I'm so mad that the Alchemist player let him do that. And... because now we only take 9 network points instead of 12. So many sleepyheads. I'm with you. They're making these moves pretty slow. I'm making these moves pretty slow. Yes, Alchemists win the network. Oh, I'm sorry. How did I defeat the Chaos Magicians on network size? Oh, I just miscounted how many dwellings they have. Well, that's a relief. That means that we still get to take our... oh my goodness, actually, are we going to tie for first? That's incredible. I assumed the Alchemists had more points than they did. But now we get to share the win. We love sharing. I mean, we don't actually, but at least we didn't lose to anyone. So, yay for that. Not so much king making when the king makes the move. I guess. Okay. Let's call it princess making then, since it was impacting potentially second place. Clearly the princess is the second place role there, right? And as things happen, I get to stay the princess. Woohoo! So, that was the closest game of this that I've ever played. Goodness. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm gonna head off for some dinner now. Enjoy your evening.